Hey there, I'm John Zimmerman with Upper Creek Angler, and we're continuing our work through Steve Scoose's book, Grayling Flies. This is fly number 67, the Chad Cad. I'm going to start with loading the hook with some lead wire. I am fresh out of flat lead wire, so some 20 thousandths round lead wire will have to do. Just snip those off with a pair of dull scissors, or break them off preferably. You'll get a cleaner base if you break them off. So we'll just tie this guy in and trap the lead with a thread dam on each side. This is helpful to make sure that when you begin to wrap over the lead, that the spacing has nowhere to go, so you won't get these the lead trying to splay out on you if you are intentional about creating a thread dam on both sides before you begin to really do the work of the fly. So this fly is going to be tied from back to front. And what I've done to prepare the tail is just take I've taken a fluorescent green piece of ultra chenille and put a couple blobs of clear cure goo on it. And then we're just going to color it a little bit with a black marker or a brown marker to give it a head. You could do this with some black fingernail polish too. If you got some black fingernail polish for the Pair-to-Gone patterns, you could definitely use some black fingernail polish here as well to give the head a bit of a look. So we'll tie this fellow in, and that is much too long. Rider. So we'll solidify all of this. And then we'll come right back down to the bend of the hook here and tie in what will be our legs for this fly. I'm going to take a single CDC feather and stretch the fibers back just so that we're working with the tip, and we will tie this guy in sort of further up the middle of the fly than what normally we would, just so that when we make the wraps on this, we don't need a lot. This is just just for legging material. So what we want to have happen is once we wrap these guys back, that they're just protruding over the head of the caddis fly that we're trying to imitate here. That's why I've tied it in here at the middle. This was a longer fibered CDC feather. Now we'll take all of these and come right back down to the bend of the hook. And as you can see, these are just splaying out past our little CDC blob head, or our ultra chenille blob head. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to tie in our darning yarns for this. Steve sent me several over that are from the Chadwick brand, so if you can find Chadwicks, that will be much truer to the original fly. So we're going to tie 2 of them in at the base, and we're going to tie 2 in further up. And what we don't want to have happen, according to the instructions, is any sense of a true pattern look. It should look variable. once the flies are done. So this is one of those flies that I think if you're gonna tie them, every one of them should look different. So you can see I've got these spaced out along the hook, and the instructions say to begin wrapping with the one nearest the bend. So we'll bring this guy forward. Skipping between these ones that are already tied in front of it. And what you'll notice, right or wrong, not 100% sure, I cut my lengths based on which I was going to tie in first, knowing that I would need more of the one at the back than I would of the ones at the front. So we'll tie that fellow off, and we'll bring our next one through. Being definitely careful not to this is not a touching turns kind of thing. We're just going to bring the different colors through up to the top. So what you're really trying to imitate here is a cased caddis fly, and all these different colors of the yarn are going to mimic the rocks that they build their little houses with. So we'll bring our gray forward. And lastly, we will bring our black forward. And all we have left to do now is to tie in a whip finish. And go catch a fish. Anywhere there are cased caddises in the water, this fly should do quite well. I'm just going to paint a little super glue on the thread and finish this guy off. Again, this is fly number 67 from Steve Scoose's book, Grayling Flies, the Chad Cad. Anywhere there are cased caddises in your waters, this fly should do the trick. So, happy tying!